My parents labeled me uneducated garbage and threw me out. Get out, you lowlife, Dad screamed. They had no idea. I make $20 million. Can you imagine finding yourself bleeding on your own apartment floor? Every muscle screaming in pain, your world shattered. And the person you trusted most, your own sister, just stands there and watches? She just watches. And then, she twists the knife deeper with words that still haunt me. You should have just signed the mortgage. That's me, Audrey. And I'm 32. I never thought my life would turn into a nightmare where my own flesh and blood would betray me so utterly. Growing up, Natalie wasn't just my sister. She was my protector, my guide. 5 years older, she was the one who chased away bullies on the playground, helped me with homework, and was always there for our late-night talks. Our parents, a high school economics teacher and a nurse, weren't wealthy, but they instilled in us strong family values and crucial financial lessons. Always have 6 months of expenses saved, Dad would always say, and never risk more than you can afford to lose. Those words became a part of me. Natalie was always a bit more carefree with money, but despite our differences, we were incredibly close. When she left for college, I cried for days. I followed her educational path years later, working part-time to supplement my scholarships, choosing business administration, fascinated by structure and management. I steadily worked my way up at a marketing firm, becoming an office manager by 29. My financial discipline paid off. Last year, I bought my own 2-bedroom condo. Modest, but it was mine. A tangible symbol of my hard work. Natalie, though, took a different path. She hopped jobs after college, never quite finding her niche. 3 years ago, she met Greg at a friend's barbecue. Their relationship moved fast. They were engaged in 6 months. Their wedding was small and lovely, and as her maid of honor, I gave a heartfelt speech welcoming Greg into our family. He seemed good for her, charismatic, and completely adored her. He worked in sales, so his income fluctuated, but they seemed to be managing. Natalie even took a part-time job at a clothing boutique, mostly for the discount and social interaction, or so I thought at the time. Our family stayed close. Sunday dinners at Mom and Dad's were sacred. But I started noticing subtle shifts in Natalie. The sister who once loved thrift stores now talked about designer labels. She'd make comments about my practical car, suggesting I treat myself to something more luxurious. Greg, too, would constantly steer conversations to money, asking probing questions about my salary, or commenting on my condo's market value. At the time, I brushed it off as his sales background, but looking back, those were glaring red flags. Your sister and I are thinking about investment properties, Greg announced one Sunday about 6 months ago. Real estate is where true wealth is built. My parents exchanged uneasy glances. Later, Dad pulled me aside. Investment requires knowledge and caution, Audrey. I hope Greg knows what he's doing. Around this time, I started dating Tyler, a police officer I met after a minor break-in at... Full story video added in below.